see what happens. Could you do just some testing? Number 9.
Testing.
Number 9.
Number 9.
Wonderful.
Oh, that's nice.
The rain in Spain falls mainly on the plain.
Oh,
There you go.
My Fair Lady.
She's got it, by George.
You guys can both look this way.
Well, My Fair Lady comes to the first.
We don't even need these.
No, you
want us
don't need it. I just need it for controlling the sound.
Yeah, it's so hot. I don't know if you want to hear it. It's nice and hot.
As you mentioned, My Fair Lady, which comes to the first question, it's not only, let's say, Tex-Mex, country-influenced music, you do jazz as well. Can't you decide which kind of music you want to do?
Well, I like to say, and it's true, I'm not the one in control of the whole creative process. I'm just a conduit. So I listen to so much music and I play many different instruments, and then there's just life and inspiration everywhere. So I mean, you can call it phases if you like. I'm influenced largely by the people around me and what I'm listening to, and music I don't hear, where I think there's a void, I like to create music there. And that's definitely where the tortilla western came from, that little minis genre that blended influences of the border regions, the Southwest where I grew up, and then jazz is something I've always loved and respected, and from my parents' record collections from way back. And of course, we were in a big, vibrant city. Jazz is everywhere, so I had to go there for a while. I had to do that.
But where does your heart beat?
For me, the instruments I'm playing have a lot to do with the music that I'm writing. I would say, well, right now, I do love the tortilla western and the accordion, and letting the bass and the accordion kind of take me places. So probably my next CD will be a follow-up to the tortilla western. But at the same time, I've played drums with Raphael for 13 years, and he's such a beautiful songwriter. So we both decided that collaboration would be a good thing, and that's the result of our most recent effort. So it's you say, where is my heart? When I am in San Francisco and we play with our jazz ensemble, the horns inspire me to write horn parts. So it's not so easy. I'm inspired all the time. I write music constantly, and I only put a small percentage of it out.
Let's talk about Fistful of Stars.
Yes.
The two of you.
Yes.
Was there a big discussion about which songs to put on the CD, or who was in charge?
No, I don't. There wasn't one person in charge. I had written some songs. I also play in a cumbia band. Cumbia is, Afro-Colombian music from the Pacific Coast. And I had written some material that wasn't going to be on the band's Candelaria. That was not cumbia. That was more based on where I grew up and the sounds and the rhythms that I was hearing. And which is Calexico, right on the border with California and Mexico. And I brought those songs to Tara Linda, and I said, hey, we should collaborate on this. And I had already written the songs, but they needed accordion. And so that's where the collaboration started, us playing in the jazz band and doing like house concerts, and realizing that we could also do house concerts, just the two of us, and then adding JT on percussion and round out the sound and be a smaller, more compact, easier to travel unit. And, Tara being from the Southwest and myself being from the Southwest, our influences were such that I thought it would be a great fit. And so that's pretty much where the genesis of that started.
But would you really call it Tex-Mex music? As a lot of people would say, like Flaco Jimenez, he's a Tex-Mex musician, although he plays polka and things like that, which isn't really Tex-Mex in a way, like Freddie Fender did,
Right.
or the Texas Tornadoes in some ways. So, What would you call your kind of music?
We call it acoustic border cafe music.
Yeah.
It's mellower. It probably takes in more influences. When I think of the conjunto music that was born in the, between, it's not just on one side of the border, it's the whole area on both sides of the border. Conjunto, it's influenced, it's informed by Texas country. It's informed by norteño music south of the border. And those are probably some of the largest influences. With ours, I think we're more expansive. It includes California, Mexico influences, maybe a little bit of, some of it sounds traditional. It's all original for starters, so that's a little bit different. So we bring to it some different influences. I play my first blues song. There's a little bit of blues, a little bit of folk. Some of it sounds like music you might hear sitting in a cafe in Calexico having a nice cold beer. And others of it is maybe late night when you're driving those long distances across the Texas countryside or New Mexico. So we think it has more influences than those of Tex-Mex.
So this is real Americana,
Yes.
not just the made-up Americana.
The whole continent of America. Both continents.
Well, it's the influence of the South of America as
Yeah.
well as the
Right.
North.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's a true Americana music.
Yes, absolutely.
With a little bit of jazz in it.
No jazz on this one, on this newest one.
Well, while you're singing, there's still a little jazz in the voice, isn't there?
Okay, yes, I've been told. Can't hide that.
And I once talked to Pete Seeger, and he said jazz is the only part of American music which came into folk. He says jazz is true American folk music.
Wow.
That's nice.
So if you look
I
at
like
this side, you're doing, even if you're singing jazz, you're doing folk.
Wow.
that. Yay! I like
Pete
that.
Seeger.
What do you love more, the accordion or the ukulele?
I play the ukulele bass. I love the bass instrument. I actually am a drummer at heart. My heart instrument are drums. When I'm writing and I'm stuck, I go sit behind the drum kit and sing and play the rhythm and get unstuck. So I think my heart is with the most rhythmic of the instruments, and that would probably be the bass. I'm relatively new to the accordion, unlike all my European friends who grew up with it in school. I was a bit of a rebel, and going through my punk rebellion phase in Texas, I heard accordion everywhere. I saw flamenco from when I was little, growing up. I loved the music, but I didn't have a craving to embody it. And I was just too busy going through my little punk phases. And it wasn't until I left Texas and actually got an injury and had to stop playing drums that little waltzes were dancing through my head. And I had to find an instrument to help me get those out of my head. And that's when I started playing accordion. So that was relatively late in life, only 10 years ago. Yeah.
And 10 years the calendar with accordion babes?
Yeah, that's been going on, yes.
Unfortunately, nobody can see it on radio, so...
That's true. That's true.
They need to order it.
That's the brainchild, the mastermind of Renee de la Prade, who actually is an accordion babe. You have a resident here in Germany now. She lives in Hamburg, half the year, and then half the year in the U.S. But it was her idea to get together women accordion players who either led musical projects or were lead players in various bands.
I'm never tired of touring.
Am I ever
Yeah,
tired of
are you
touring?
never tired of touring?
Well, I love to travel. I love to travel, and but I do crave. I do need to write. I'm kind of probably more of a I don't want to say cerebral, but introspective. I write so much. So if my quiet time is taken away from me, or I can't escape to write, or then I start getting fidgety and bearish. So I like to tour, and I like downtime to write music. So as long as I get those on the road, I'm fine.
So on tour you can't write at all.
It depends how busy it is and how crowded.
Let's say this way, this time. It doesn't look that busy.
Yeah, I think no, it's not so crowded now. It's not so busy. We can write.
And you do?
Yes.
Did
yeah.
Did you do a song about Berlin?
Not yet. Not yet. But the tour is young.
Very diplomatic answer.
Not yet.
If there would be a little fairy who could or would grant you a wish, the two of you now, each separate answer, please.
Okay.
Who would you like to play with or would have played, like dead or alive?
Ooh. Wow, good question.
I have to say a mentor that I've looked up to for so many reasons. One of the first, they called her Lark of the Border in Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
It was in Spanish, Lark of the Border.
Oh, I don't know what lark is. But...
Bird or little bird. Anyway, Lydia Mendoza, starting in the 1920s, began singing, was discovered. She was playing the mercados of Mexico and San Antonio. And she had a family band, and she ended up writing or playing, not writing, she didn't write so much, but she performed, she had this knack of, she would tune into the radio at night and listen to the orchestral music from Mexico City, from wherever she lived, and she had a 12-string guitar, and she would work out those arrangements on her guitar, figure them out, and then sing. And she was she was the first Latina to achieve notoriety and to get her music out across all of Latin America, Lydia Mendoza. So I would have loved to have played with her. I met her just before she passed, but I would love to have taken any kind. I would have just sat at her feet and played bass with whatever she was playing.
Well, you still could, as Natalie Cole played with her daddy, and he was dead too.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
That's true.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
So, and who would it be
For
with you?
me, would be Jose Alfredo Jimenez, an amazing, prolific writer. And growing up playing in, we had a family band, a mariachi outfit, my brother and my 3 sisters. And really well steeped in that mariachi tradition. And I would have loved to have just seen him sing or, maybe play a few songs with him, because he was like the architect of a lot of the classic mariachi songs and rancheras and all the beautiful music of that time in Mexico.
Good. If I guess you do a lot of interviews during a tour and in the States, whenever you do a lot of interviews, let's say it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Was there ever a question nobody has ever asked, but you always wanted to answer?
Oh, wow.
I haven't done that many interviews.
I can't think of one right now.
Yeah. You stumped the band.
What's the meaning of life? I don't know.
Well, you always wanted to answer that.
No, I'm just kidding.
What is the meaning of life?
Trapped myself. Here we go.
Yeah.
Okay,
Just have a good time. Just
thanks for
enjoy.
being here.
Thank you
No,
for
thanks for the interview.
Thank you for
very
having
much
us.
For having us.
I love the
Thank
questions.
You,
Very in depth.
thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So, I first stop it.
So, before we get started.
So whenever